What's up, guys? Welcome back to CrimsonCX and welcome back to the final episode of CHRIS SAWYERS LOCOMOTION. Coming at you from a very boiling United Kingdom. I've got the fan on, you might be able to hear it. We're going to turn it down a little bit so it doesn't mess with the audio too much. That was the sound of me turning it down to the setting 1 instead of 3, which was the max. But yeah, the UK sucks right now. It's way too hot, 30 degrees, many days in a row. But yeah, no one cares about my life story regarding that, so let's not get distracted. We've done a couple things since the last episode, which I'm going to show you as we do a bit of a tour of what we've done in the episodes and sort of in between, in a sort of tour format, a bit like what I did with the latest series of OpenTTD. So, with that in mind, we start at Limerick, which we did, and then we go straight to Cork, before heading towards the place where we've been the longest in Ireland, Waterford. Now, you'll remember last episode I got done dirty by this green guy using my tracks to get his trams around. Hopefully our trams are still making money. Didn't want to do that. Go back. Do I make money? Profit. Okay, 200 quid. That's also helped by the running cost not being that high. But yeah, Waterford has grown quite significantly. I think it's one of the highest places. Yeah, Southampton is top. Southampton's bigger than London. Southampton, London, Waterford. Waterford's the third biggest in Ireland. Ballinasloe's grown as well. We're getting distracted. So yeah, Waterford, we've got trams and a train with some competition. And we've also got the tram going up to Kilkenny, which has grown quite significantly from just a tiny little hamlet. We now move on to Wexford, and then through the mountain to Dublin, which has a sort of junction. Now we can go various different ways. We will go this way first, up to Mullingar, which we covered fairly recently, and then Ballinasloe, which, as you can tell, is pretty big as well. You can see these big buildings. And we continue. This is such a mess. Look at all this blue guy. Is he ahead of me? Indigo lines. He's done a lot. But this line goes back to Castlebar. So that is another one of our Irish lines. And here's something which I haven't shown you before because I did it in between episodes. Sorry, by the way, if this is really laggy or laggier than usual. It's because there are a lot of trains moving about, a lot of different track and all that. And you can see the mess. Like, what is this? But yeah, there's a little line at the moment which I extended, which goes to Dundalk. It's not making that much money, I don't think. At least it wasn't when I was playing a bit. Okay, it's made a little bit since. But the main attraction is, after this horrendous piece of stuff, Glasgow Lines. Horrendous performance from you. Like, what is this? It's like a roller coaster, but for trains. But we go along this suspension bridge to Belfast, which is where we will end our Irish segment, because we're going to take the main line. What is this, by the way? Look at Port Ocean. Imagine being like a ship and you're just sailing along and then you see this monstrosity. Look at it. Compared to my simple little line, it's all a bit of a mess around Stranraer, Scotland. But we're going to follow our line. We don't care about anyone else. We are at 600 grand, by the way, so we've definitely got a lot of money recently. But we go this way towards Liverpool, Manchester Road. As I think I said before in the previous video, I would have probably said Liverpool, but it put it as Manchester by default, which is strange. I don't know why, but it's not something to think about too much. Another bit of carnage around Stafford. Aircraft achieves average speed of 124. Do I want to get distracted? I'm going to anyway. What's this guy doing? He's in Southampton to Ballinasloe. I haven't seen an airport yet, but we're going to go to Southampton. And then some oil. Okay, fair enough. But if we get through this monstrosity, we go to where it all began, at Birmingham. So this is Birmingham Central, a recently added station which connects to the tram stop about here. What we did initially in Birmingham, however, is this line to Gloucester Wheat Farm. That goes to the brewery and connects with another station of ours, which is about here, which goes along to Oxford's wheat farm. Of course, we should mention the trams, which obviously big part of this, as well as the railway, which we'll get to in a minute. We'll follow the main line from Ireland though. It does weave its way through the landscape a bit. It took ages if you watched the last video. But we now have arrived around... Oh, that's another one of my own lines. Okay. So this is the London Mega Station. Basically, I think there's 4 platforms, roughly. A bunch of trains coming from different places. Plus the tram as well. The tram serves all of London, plus Brighton and Chelmsford up here. You can see the carnage though, look at this. The AIs all just try and build on top of each other, which is what always happens in these sorts of games. Well, here's Oxford Airport. I've just seen this. Clearly this Indigo Lines guy likes his airports. But yeah, we'll go towards Southampton now. I think I need to come up with the right way. So Oxford's here, as you can see, Oxford Central. And then the sort of 2 lines. One goes into busy Southampton. Where is this airport of this guy's? That doesn't look very nice. Looks a bit dilapidated, these airports. I don't think I've ever used planes in this game specifically. But there we go, yeah. Southampton now the biggest place, above even London, which is quite mad. But then there's another line which continues this way to Cardiff. And then I think after that, Fishguard. Oh yeah, no, we can do the newest line, which I've done off camera. So yeah, Fishguard is there. And now we've got another line, which is quite elevated the whole way. It goes to Barnstaple. We got a little tram line. It goes from Barnstaple to Plymouth, down here. Just started working recently. And then we take a train all the way to the end of the world, or the end of the UK, at lovely Land's End. I mean, if someone actually built this in real life, the land value would probably plummet very quickly. So, thank goodness it's not real life. Let's go back to London now. Make things a bit easier, so we don't have to move about. So we've done this and this, these lines. Let's do this now. So one of them goes up past Milton Keynes back towards Coventry, which also where I have my HQ. Aircraft achieves, see, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. But yeah, Coventry Central Station. This is one of the first train lines I did. And then this is sort of the equivalent of the East Coast Main Line in the UK. It goes up towards the north and then Scotland. So let's follow it this way. It's here. You can actually probably see the route of the train. So we're talking, yeah, London, Peterborough, Grantham, Grimsby, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Edinburgh. I will show you that, but now you know at least what's going to be. But you can tell that it really was windy. Grantham had to go all the way over here for Grimsby because of all this mess. And then up towards Middlesbrough. Perfect. And then Newcastle is here. And then it's really awful. I mean, there's no coastline left, I don't think. Then we didn't give Berwick a station, but we did give Edinburgh a station, which looks good. And we've also got a little line which goes from to Dundee and then Aberdeen. What is this? Who's just done this? This went here the other day. Things go really quick. It's going to get laggy if I zoom out, but I think that's everything. I think there's a better way of looking at it on the map. Map, where are you? All stations. That's not the stat I wanted. Okay. It's literally right there. Okay. If we, I think that's everything. So we're in pink. So we've just done that. That. I think that's everything. Nothing off the top of my head is wrong. I mean, you can tell that we've definitely, for instance, dominated Ireland, at least with passengers. I mean, we're definitely not the richest company. We're far from it. We're about middle of the pack, actually. Although we keep trading places with this guy. But Welsh Pool Freight has done very well. What is her stats like? Cash, 2 million. Company value, 4 million. What's my company value? 730,000. Oh, no. Almost 2 million. 35 grand per month in profit. But I think we've done pretty well. I'm pretty happy with what we've done. I've just seen, what the hell is this? This looks really ugly, man. Where is he going? There's no way he's done that. Like, I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing. Look, I know boats are useless as hell and slow as hell, but he's just done that into the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't have ever thought about that. But yeah, look at this. I mean, we say it looks bad here, but what's it looking like on the map? I mean, this guy, literally, all the way from Aberdeen to Norwich. I mean, that would be Welsh pull freight, so that's probably why they're so rich. But that is it for this series of Chris Sawyer's Locomotion. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed making it. It's been a lot of fun to revisit this classic game, which I've loved playing for many years now. But yeah, see you very soon for more videos on CrimsonCX. Goodbye.